Welcome to Mostar, a small town in the heart of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And this town here isn't only considered the most beautiful town in Bosnia, but also the most bombed town in the whole country. With its beautiful old town, Ottoman-era stone bridge and the famous annual cliff jumping tradition, Mostar is one of Bosnia and Herzegovina's most visited destinations. But what many don't realize is that less than 30 years ago, Mostar was among the most heavily bombed cities in the entire country. For almost 4 years, Bosniaks first fought against the Yugoslav army led by Serbia and later against Bosnian Croats. When the war finally ended in late 1995, Mostar lay in ruins. It wasn't until 2004, nearly a decade later, that the city was finally rebuilt. Welcome to a beautiful day here in the small town of Mostar in Bosnia Herzegovina. I'm right here in the pedestrian street. And today we're gonna explore the old town together. And look how beautiful this is. All around you can see these huge mountains. Also all the way over there. Because Mostar is actually located within a valley, and there's also a very special climate here because it is actually the hottest place in all of Bosnia. So this place here gets really hot temperatures in the summertime. So right now we have autumn, we have early November, and the temperatures are actually really nice. Sun is shining, but in summer it gets really, really hot here from what I've read. I think we've reached the official old town now, right over here. So let's have a look down there. Cobblestone streets, all of these small buildings, narrow alleyways. This is beautiful. And this here is what Mostar is most famous for. This here is the old bridge of Mostar, Stari Most, an ancient bridge from the 16th century dating back to Ottoman era, and it is named after the bridge keepers, which are called Mostari. I'm very glad about these steps because this floor is really slippery. This bridge here behind me is what makes Mostar so special, and that's why so many people travel here to see this ancient Ottoman bridge, even though it's been rebuilt. But this bridge here connects the city over the Neretva, the river down there. And this river, the Neretva, is often considered the coldest river in the whole world. Its source is in the nearby mountains, and that's also where it has the coldest temperatures of around 7 degrees Celsius only. Once the water reaches the town of Mostar, the temperature is around 12 degrees, so a couple of degrees warmer, still really, really cold though. And especially in the summer months, there's a very unique tradition here because young people challenge each other to jump down into this cold water. And the challenge is not even the height. Instead, the challenge is the temperature, because jumping from warmer outside temperatures into this cold water of only 12 degrees is a big shock for your body and for your heart and for everything. That's why it's actually really, really risky to jump down there. And I think in the month of June, there's actually a big competition here where all the people jump into the water. I'm not really sure how they decide who is the winner, who wins the competition, but I know every summer there's a big competition going on here at exactly this bridge here right behind me. And over here on the other side of the old bridge, the old town continues. This incredibly beautiful view just continues. More bridges, mountains, another river. This is a really, really beautiful place. Before coming here, I never expected Bosnia to be this beautiful. But it is an amazing country with an incredible landscape, and I love the nature. Let's have a look in here. We're here in a small courtyard next to a mosque, and it is so beautiful. This is really cute here. And everywhere around the city, these old Ottoman gravestones dating back to the Ottoman Empire were found. And whenever people find these, they preserve them and they fence off the area. And that's why nowadays around Mostar and also Sarajevo, you see all of these old gravestones everywhere. There's another little bridge down here, and we have it all to ourselves. Look how cute this is. So I understand why so many people come here. Often day trippers from Dubrovnik in Croatia at the coast. Because this is such a cute little old town. It's perfect to just wander around for a couple of hours, try some Bosnian food, and most importantly, experience this incredibly hospitable culture. Because that's another thing I just really appreciate about Bosnia. It's the people, because from all the Balkan countries I've visited so far, I would say Bosnians are probably my favorite people. They are so incredibly friendly, warm, welcoming, helpful. They're gonna try help you out when they see that you need help when you're in the streets, when you're lost. And the English level is incredibly high, but that's everywhere in the Balkans. A lot of people speak English, and so far I really almost never had issues getting around with English. I read so much about how cold this water here is. Now I want to try it for myself. I'm down here at the shore, and obviously I'm not gonna go swimming, we have November, but I want to go down there and just stick my hand in. This water looks incredibly clear. The moment of truth, is it really as cold as the internet says? Actually, just sticking my hand in is surprisingly not that cold. I honestly think I could jump into this water in summer. Most of the old town here was actually destroyed back then, after the fall of Yugoslavia, when there was conflicts going on here between Bosnians, Serbs and Croatian people. And pretty much the whole old town was destroyed. It's very interesting though, because even a lot of the buildings here in the city center, in the most touristy area of the city, are still like broken. So we can just imagine in what bad shape this city would have been back then, in the end of 1995, when the conflicts finally stopped and a peace solution was reached. But given the fact that even now, 20 years later, there's like still so much destruction here, I think the city must have been in like really bad shape.
Bosnia was once a multi-ethnic state, home to Bosniak Muslims, Orthodox Serbs and Catholic Croats. In 1992, however, after the fall of Yugoslavia, the Bosniak-led government pushed for independence, while Bosnian Serbs wanted to remain under Belgrade's control. What followed was a brutal conflict between Bosnia's three main ethnic groups, a war that lasted nearly 4 years, claimed around 100,000 lives and displaced millions. It was a time marked by unimaginable atrocities, from the infamous Sarajevo sniper safaris, where Serbian troops allowed foreign visitors to shoot at civilians for money, to the tens of thousands of women and girls who suffered horrific abuse.
Though most of the old town has been rebuilt by now, there's still lots of remnants of the war. Right over here, for example, we have a completely destroyed building. This whole building here is like just fenced off. But that's crazy. Here in the concrete, you can see all of the bullet holes still from the war, which only ended in 1995, so about 30 years ago. And over here and everywhere across town, we just have these reminders of the war. I'm not exactly sure why they kept this building here, or the remnants of this building, and didn't refurbish it or tear it down and build something else, because most of the city has been refurbished by now. I think they finished in 2004 with the works, but some places have been left maybe to remind us nowadays about those times and to remind people to be more peaceful and to look for diplomatic solutions instead of just fighting against each other. And right here on the other side, there's even more bullet holes. This is crazy. You just walk through the streets and you see all these bullet holes in all of the buildings everywhere. In Sarajevo, we already saw a lot of bullet holes, but I think Mostar has been bombed even more. Even though this is already my second week here in Bosnia, I actually haven't even tried Bosnian cuisine yet, with the exception of baklava and burek, which you get pretty much everywhere here in the Balkans. Because I noticed it is sometimes a little bit harder to find vegetarian food here than it was in some of the other countries like Albania and Kosovo, for example. But I found a little restaurant that offers some traditional vegetarian dishes, and that's what we're gonna try now. After a little bit of research, I found this restaurant here that offers some traditional vegetarian Bosnian food. And here we have it. We got lots of salad, rice, I think mashed potatoes, peppers, which are such an important part of the cuisine here. And we got some fresh cream cheese. So I can't even say how happy I am that I finally found some vegetarian food. And I'm very excited to try it and show you. There are like so many different things in here, so I'd say we're gonna start with the peppers, because I had peppers in every country so far that I visited here in the Balkans. So cheers. Mashed potatoes. Salad. I think this is like cabbage. Cream cheese, and of course we're also getting some bread. This food is like really good, and my guess is it's probably not even too different to what you would get if you would get invited at someone's home. I think this is pretty similar to what people eat in their daily life if they just cook food at home. It's really good. It's very balanced, vegetables, salad, cheese. I really like it. And I especially like all of these different kinds of homemade cream cheeses that you get here in the different Balkan countries. They're always a little bit different. But in general, here in Bosnia, also in Serbia and Montenegro, people eat a lot of meat. A lot of meat and pita bread, the so-called cevapcici. So that makes it a little bit harder to find vegetarian foods. And that's why I'm even more happy that I found this place here. Back then, when Bosnia was part of Yugoslavia, there were a lot of secret military facilities here, a lot of bunkers and aircraft hangars. And I'm on my way today to one of those aircraft hangars. I found a taxi driver in town because it's a little bit outside of Mostar, and he was so kind and actually is going to accompany me into the abandoned hangar, and that's what we're going to check out today. And right here we have it. So this road here is actually connected to the old airport, and this in there is where they would have parked aircrafts. Wow, this is like, there's like a lot of rubble and trash here nowadays. Let's see if it's open and if we can get a closer look.
Even though my taxi driver didn't speak much English, he did his best to communicate with me and show me around the site.
From Mount. The camouflage here,
Yeah.
and here.
Wow. So this is where they would have parked the aircrafts. And they were ready to go whenever Tito, the former revolutionary, needed them. They could have taken their aircrafts out of here.
Once a top-secret facility where military aircraft were stored during the Yugoslav era, the entire complex now lies abandoned. Long empty tunnels stretching deep into the mountains, filled with nothing but darkness and hollow echoes.
Oh, I think there's the exit. Yeah, there's light. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
The airport at the end of this road is still in use today.
And down here, this is where the airport is, at the other entrance. So that was pretty cool. Here in the country, you can just randomly find these abandoned bunkers and aircraft hangars just sitting around, and you can explore them. Though in general, you have to be really careful with urban exploration here in the country, because there are still a lot of landmines hidden away in nature since the Bosnian War, and it's really important to not go off the tracks. I'm back here on the balcony of my Airbnb, and this is also my last day here in Mostar. It's a very beautiful city, plus it has such an interesting history, and the people again are just absolutely lovely and welcoming. I did not expect this taxi driver to basically give me a tour of the old aircraft hangar, because I asked the guy at the kiosk to call up this taxi driver for me to just drive me there, and the guy ended up being super friendly. And yeah, it's just such a good example of the culture here. People are extremely warm and welcoming, and I enjoy this country so much. Though tomorrow I'm actually gonna cross into Montenegro, the next Balkan country on this adventure, and I hope you're gonna join me. And I'll probably upload my next video next Thursday, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching until the end. Bye bye.